Welcome to the Argon Geochronology Lab. Geochronology is just sort of a fancy way of saying that we date rocks, and we date rocks from samples all over the world. When we first get a sample, we crush it, and we do that in the basement. The next thing we do is come up here to the mineral separation lab, and in this room, we wash our samples, we dry them in this little oven. We then sieve the samples, which is taking samples just into different sizes, from under 200 microns to like a couple millimeters. After we separated samples into different sizes, we magnetically separate. This is just a really fancy magnet with a ramp, and it takes separates our sample into a magnetic component and a non-magnetic component. Once we have those components, we move over here into the acid leaching room, and here we have a variety of acids that we expose the samples to just clean them up. Once the samples are removed from the acids, we dry them, we end up re-sieving them, remagnetically separating them, again just to get it as pure as possible into what we're interested in. And then we move down into the picking room, and this is where we have all the microscopes. Here, we take the sample that we have left, and we individually separate grain by grain. You can kind of imagine separating salt from pepper in these microscopes. After the samples are completely picked, we pack them in these foils and we send them to the nuclear reactor on campus to be irradiated. Once they come back, we then move into our actual analysis phase. And in the analysis, so we sit down and our samples are loaded into the mass spectrometer, and we sit here and we're ready to analyze our sample.